Is it also saying, though, to people that just because he said offensive things in the past, be it about women or about minorities on stop and frisk, and had policies that were deeply divisive and deeply destructive for communities, just because those things happened in the past and because he's done so much else, and because I think he's the best person to beat Donald Trump, I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm gonna ignore that stuff. I'm gonna leave it in the background. And I just need I need to focus on the portion of his record that I like and the belief that I think he's going to be the best one to take Donald Trump out of office. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying to you is that nobody spends a lifetime in elected office or in as the head of a major corporation or as a major public figure and doesn't have moments that they misspoke or things that they wish they hadn't said or would have done differently, or that the current social perspective hasn't moved past something that happened decades ago. What I am saying is I'm judging the candidates by what they have done recently, what their message is, and what their plan for the future of America is. And I think, quite honestly, there is a broad swath of Americans who are very much interested in seeing a leader lead this country into a place where they feel like they are cared for, and that there's equitable opportunities at the American dream, and that America reclaims its place on the world stage as a leader. And I think Mike Bloomberg is that kind of person.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.